Hi Cancer, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cancer, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they speak to you. With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know I love you for it. And if you are new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share. And if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. Before we start, please don't forget, on the 26th of May I have a very special guest star, Achuta Bhavadas, and we are going to be talking about the eclipse that's taking place and also pulling cards for all 12 signs, so you do not want to miss it. It's 8 p.m. UK time. There'll be like lots of little bits to let you know about that anyway. So for your before we start, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes this card is literally about being in the right place at the right time, and very often it shows us the results of actions that we've already put in and what they shape up for us to be. What this also tells me as well is that over the course of this week, you are very likely to see a sign, a symbol, a synchronicity of some sort. This is going to be an expansion of some kind for you personally, and it suggests that in all of these areas of life, somewhere you are going to get a, what I like to call a lucky break, or you know, like almost like a little nudge from the universe to say that direction. All right, for your actions and options this week, you have the King of Wands, right? So King of Wands has been quite active for this part of the taroscopes. Now, coupled with the Wheel of Fortune, a Sagittarius person or the Sagittarius eclipse that's coming up may feature for you very heavily this week. Although the eclipse is the week after, but you get my point. This, in a lot of ways, so I think it was Gemini that pulled this card as well in the same position, and I said to them, in some way, shape or form, this week you could be getting thrust into a position of leadership that you don't expect, maybe you don't think that you want, until you realize, actually I do, because I'm good at this and I know it would go really well. Now, another thing that shapes up with this because you've got the Wheel of Fortune here, this could be some sort of celebration of your gifts, of your attributes. This could be where a decision that you have previously made, or maybe an investment that you've made of some sort, and it doesn't have to be a financial one, but you know, this could be your time, your inner resources, something that you've put out into the world previously could now see you being celebrated for what you've done, for what you've created. Outside of that, this could be some sort of career recognition, but it's very likely to come in a demonstrative kind of way. For your communications and conversations, you have the Five of Swords. So this week, be careful of conflicts, challenges and issues. The reason I say this is because the Five of Swords can sometimes see us, this could be a spontaneous argument that erupts. It might be, a conflict that comes seemingly out of nowhere. And what I want to say to you as well, with the Five of Swords, sometimes it sees us acting out of a way that we usually are. So I often say to people, don't let somebody goad you, don't let somebody press your buttons, especially this week. For those of you that work for somebody else, if you are getting ahead, it does look like there's either a naysayer in the corner or somebody that's like, oh wow, I could have done that, or it's kind of just saying, you know what, let sour people be sour people, right? That's their stuff, not yours. For those of you that work for yourselves, business owners, entrepreneurs, people that work for themselves, this week, if you really want to get ahead, it would be wise not to get into it with someone, right? That's the easy way out. However, Just because somebody is a client, just because somebody is, but just because somebody's paying us doesn't mean they own us. And this week you might be in a position where you kind of really have to pull rank and say, hang on a sec, I understand that you're a good client. I understand that that you support my business. However, you don't employ me. This is where you might have to draw a very firm line in the sand. Try to make it succinct, because the longer you go on about it, or the longer you don't say anything, when you finally do, that could be where the conflict comes in. So if you've bitten your tongue up until this point, this week you're going to have to say something or suffer the consequences. For those of you that are retired or no longer working, this week, it's kind of like a self-battle that you're having. This would be a really good week to check in with the self-talk. How do you talk to yourself? How do you talk about yourself? How do you view yourself? And the reason I say this is because it looks like everybody else wants to celebrate you, but you're having a hard time celebrating you. And that part of this is going to be really important this week. For your money and materials, you've got the Ace of Cups. Money looks good. Money looks very good. If you have a specific financial goal in mind, if you have a job in mind that you want, or a salary in mind that you want, this week you have all of the chances to go after it. You've just got to be that sort of proactive energy to say, right, okay, this is what I want and I'm going to make that happen. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, I love the Ace of Cups, because it suggests that this is an easy week. It could be a week of overindulgence. Definitely possible. All right, so this week, if you are a drinker or a smoker, or like me, you like to eat, and let's face it, what Cancer doesn't like to eat, sun, moon or ascendant, this week you could find your in food. So just be aware of that, all right, because that overindulgence energy could be real. And then for your home and environment, this is lovely, right? So because this brings a great energy specifically to the home, but it does suggest that something that's happening with the home, whether this is construction works, whether it is decorating, whether it's choosing things for the home, that could be where things get a bit fractious. So if you live with somebody else, maybe you disagree on what that actually looks like. Whereas if you live on your own, maybe the person that's doing the work might be the person that you have a little bit of a conflict with. It may be because they're saying, what you're asking for is not possible, or I'm going to have to charge you more. And you kind of are in a space where it's like, okay, well, I don't really understand why, because I'm not asking you to climb the moon. Do you know what I mean? So that could be where a little bit of conflict comes in, but it looks like it's resolvable, to be honest. And then finally, for your love and relations, you have the Strength card. So ruled by Leo. This suggests, because you've got the Ace of Cups here as well, right? So your heart this week, Cancer, maybe for the first time in a long time, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking, what? Cancer's with a closed heart? Cancer's been through a lot, a hell of a lot, over the last, I would say, 18 months. I mean, we came out of the eclipse season last year, and that wasn't exactly easy for anybody, right? So, but Cancer's been through a lot as a sign, and what I will say to you on that front, then, this could be this could be a week where, for the first time in a long time, maybe you are thinking, right, you know what? I'm actually ready. I'm open for something new. I'm open for something that actually feels like it is more aligned to what I truly want, more aligned to what I truly need. And I think that's important for those of you that are partnered or in relationships. It's going to be the communication that gets the better of you this week, right? So just find a way to remember that you're actually in it together. Things are actually very good for you right now. It's just about being in that energy and having an open heart to approach whatever needs to be approached. What I will say to you is that Wheel of Fortune, remember, it is going to bring blessings. It is going to bring some sort of mini step towards abundance, but you're going to have to find a way to use it. It's not going to be, just plonked in your lap, so to speak. But in a lot of ways, I think you're going to get some, what I would say are nice universal pointers. All right. With that said, have a great week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.